can't tell too much. I'm not sure how much you can see outside, but it snowed a lot last night. I'm here for my birthday week. It was my birthday last week, but my sort of like birthday getaway. I'm here for 2 nights, and yeah, I'm here by myself. My plan was to do a lot of walking, but like I said, there's lots of snow. There's only a couple of inches here, but down by the loch and like a bit further away from the town, because I'm quite close to the town centre in a little cabin, but yeah, a little bit further out of the town there's about 6 inches of snow, and it's really difficult to walk in, so I probably won't be doing that much walking. I think I'm just going to be like resting around the cabin and just having some time to myself, maybe doing some painting. But while I'm here, I wanted to read 2 books. I probably won't get to both of them, or at least I won't finish both of them, but the books I wanted to read are both kind of similar themed. They're both modern classics, from the Penguin Modern Classics range, and they're both about women, like mothers, who are descending into insanity. If you've ever watched a video on my channel, you'll probably know that I love books about women and mental illness, just women on the edge. That's my favourite kind of book to read. So the 2 I've got are The Faces by Tove Ditlevsen. This writer's most known for childhood youth dependency. I'd never heard of this one before, but I saw it in a bookshop in London, and I don't normally buy books on a whim, but I read the back and it says, Lisa, a children's book writer and married mother of 3, is increasingly haunted by disembodied faces and voices. She is convinced that her husband, already extravagantly unfaithful, will leave her. Most of all, she's scared that she will never write again. Yet, as she descends into a world of pills and hospitals, she begins to wonder, is insanity really something to be feared, or does it bring a kind of freedom? And I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely going to read that, and I'm definitely going to love that. So yeah, I got that. I've read quite a lot of it already. I read quite a lot of it on the train, and really enjoying it. The writing style took a little bit of getting used to, I would say, because at first, like, there's some bits that are just like exquisite, really beautiful language, but then there's a lot of similes, and it just got to the point where it's like a bit overwrought and a bit overwritten, I would say, but I'm still enjoying it. So yeah, it's quite surreal. Don't really know what's real and what isn't, because the narrator, the children's book writer and mother, is yeah, clearly very mentally unwell. She has a housekeeper called Gitta, and she says the housekeeper is sleeping with her husband, and who is sort of quite brazenly unfaithful and like boasts about how much he's cheated on her. And she says like, oh yeah, he's sleeping with the housekeeper and she's also sleeping with my teenage son, but you're never really sure if that's true. And like, yeah, it's just a very surreal reading experience. You don't know what to believe. She's an incredibly unreliable narrator, and yeah, the descriptions of severe mental illness are very good. You're definitely, like, you feel sort of as trapped in this character's mind as she is, and yeah, really enjoying it so far. But the writing is, for the most part, stunning, but sometimes just takes it a little bit too far. And the second book I have is Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima. This has been on my TBR for ages. This is a Japanese story from, The Faces was written in the 60s, I think. This is written in the late 70s. And this is the, I'll read the back again. It says, it is spring. A young woman left by her husband starts a new life in a Tokyo apartment. Territory of Light follows her over the course of a year as she struggles to bring up her 2-year-old daughter alone. Her home is filled with light streaming through the windows, so bright you have to squint, but she finds herself plummeting deeper into darkness, becoming unstable, untethered. As the months come and go, and the seasons turn, she must confront what she has lost and what she has become. So it sounds like similar to the faces, and yeah, really excited to read this. They're both really short, so I'll definitely have finished the faces, and I'll probably finish this, if not here, on the train home, because I didn't bring my headphones, so I've got absolutely nothing to do on the train other than read these 2 books. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be reading, and yeah, I'll put a bit of B-roll of my walks and just being around the cabin. I've got a lovely cosy log fire, and yeah, just taking some time to myself. So I will catch you soon. Not even my final day today. I'm going home today. Really sad. I don't want to leave. I'm kind of looking forward to being home, but just looking outside, it's windy and cold and snowing, and I've got a long train back. So yeah, sad to leave, but I have finished the faces. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I did think the writing style, like I talked about it being a little bit overwrought. I'm just gonna put it down. I talked about the writing style being a bit overwrought, and that either it stopped being like that, or I just got more into it and stopped noticing it was like that. And I really loved the writing style. It had some really beautiful passages in it. It's very, very surreal. We end up following the narrator as she's admitted to a psychiatric ward, and she is hearing voices of her husband and her housekeeper, and she thinks the nurses are people close to her and is just very confused by what's going on, as are we, as the reader. And yeah, she starts to become convinced that the voices of her husband and her housekeeper are trying to make her insane. And once she finally sort of accepts that she is insane, she starts to feel better in herself, and it's just like, oh, like I'm much more free now. It doesn't really matter, it's not scary anymore, like they've achieved what they set out to do, so they can't hurt me now, like they've done the worst to me, I'm now insane, there's nothing to fear. And so she stops hearing these voices and is eventually discharged back home, but it's quite clear that she's still not well, and yeah, it's really sad to read, very difficult, I'd say, if you have any sort of experience of mental illness and particularly psychiatric wards, and maybe this might hit a little bit too close to home. There were some points where I just felt like I really had to put it down because it was too much. But yeah, overall really enjoyed it. I do like those kind of books where you're not really sure what's going on, like the character of Gitta, I'm still not sure she exists, but it's not really sort of explored, we just sort of take her at face value through the narrator's words, so enjoyed that. The one thing that did make me knock it down a bit was, I mean, it's written in the 60s, so like you do kind of expect it to not be up to the same sort of standards of just decency that we are now, but there was a fair bit of casual ableism, like not the worst I've ever read, but it was in there and I noticed it, and quite a lot of anti-black racism that just sort of came out of nowhere as well, and didn't really do anything for the book. Like we weren't sort of exploring like, oh look how this person is bad because of the language they used or the way they're talking about black people. It's just like very matter of fact, and yeah, it just didn't sit right with me at all. I don't think it was doing anything, it was just in there to be racist, so keep that in mind as well. But yeah, overall enjoyed it, and I would read more by that author. I haven't got very far with Territory of Light, probably about 25 pages, and yeah, I'm enjoying it, it's fine. I'm not enjoying it as much as The Faces. The Faces is very compulsive, like I wanted to keep reading it. This not so much, I'm sort of just dipping in and out, reading a chapter here and there. The chapters are like 3-4 pages long, but yeah, we'll see how I end up finding it. I might get through it a bit quicker being on the train, because like I said, I've got no other forms of entertainment. Maybe that's why The Faces was so compelling to me, because I knew I couldn't just like, I don't know, like listen to some music or just put an audiobook on. So yeah, we will see. But leaving in about an hour, feeling really sad. Fatigue's flared up again from the walk yesterday. I didn't really do much walking, to be honest, but it was hard work. And I walked around Loch Morlich, and yeah, it was hard work. It was 6 inches of snow, and I wasn't really fully prepared for it to be that snowy, so it was very cold and very difficult, but so beautiful. I actually cried a bit when I got to the shore and just saw the mountains covered in snow and just like bits of like ice sheets floating in the loch. It was just honestly one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen, and I'd love to come back here and swim, probably when it's not -6 outside, but yeah, loved it. And what else have I been doing? Just enjoying time to myself. I've been playing wildflowers, which I'm always doing. I watched some YouTube, I painted, I'm doing watercolours. I'm not sure whether I'll insert the footage. I did sort of a time lapse of me painting the Northern Lights, and like I'm not good at painting. It's not me just like trying to get like people to say, oh, you are. Like, I know I'm not good at it, but it's just something I really enjoy doing. So trying to be less self-conscious about that and just be like, yeah, like I paint, this is what I paint, and I know it's not like to the quality where like I could sell it or don't hang it up on my wall or anything like that, but like this is my hobby, this is what I do, and not try and hide that away. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll include that, but yeah, I'm gonna go get myself ready to get the train, and I'll catch up with you probably in a few days when I'm settled at home and I finished Territory of Light. Later now, it's a month later, but it's fine, it's fine. I came to edit this vlog, which is already late, I know, and then I realised I hadn't filmed an outro or told you anything I thought about this book, which is Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima. This, unfortunately, I didn't love as much as I thought I was going to. It's been sort of a highly anticipated read for a while now, and I thought it was good. Like, it wasn't like a bad book, and I don't really have anything negative to say about it, but I also don't have a huge amount positive to say about it either. It's just one of those very like middle of the road fine books. I'm wondering maybe if because I read it so close to the faces and it's quite similar. The two women are in very different situations in both of the books. So in this one we follow a woman who has recently had a daughter. Her daughter's I think 2, and her husband leaves her, and she's sort of just coming to terms with that really, and is in sort of self-destruct mode mostly. So she's not sort of admitted into any psychiatric unit like the narrator of the faces. She's just a woman trying to come to terms with the end of her relationship, trying to look after her daughter and just trying to keep her life together. So they move into this new apartment, and she quickly just descends into like real loneliness and monotony, which I think a lot of people who have children will relate to. There were a lot of moments in this where I could really relate. Like there's a scene where her child is saying, I'm bored, I want to play, and she just doesn't have the physical or the mental capacity to play with her, and it's just, it seems like the most daunting task in the world, and just having to muster up the energy to do that. I felt that was really well portrayed and I could really relate to it. Like I said, she engages in a lot of self-destructive behaviour. She starts going out drinking, leaving her child in the apartment by herself, getting really drunk and having no idea where she is or sort of what she's got herself into. And it's a very, very psychological novel in the same way that The Faces is, but I enjoyed The Faces a lot more. I don't know if it was just the writing style. I found this one quite, I don't know really, it's not really like cold and detached. I just didn't really connect with it, and the chapters are quite short as well, which I think maybe didn't help, because I'd just get into the flow of it and then it would be disrupted by a chapter break. So yeah, I wasn't the hugest fan of this one. Hugest isn't a word. I don't think that's a word. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. And yeah, it's So yeah, one of those that probably won't stick with me that much. Content warning for child neglect as well. I found that quite difficult to read as a parent who's suffered from like postpartum mental illness. I found myself really being able to relate to the mother and like why she was doing these things, and just having a lot of empathy for her situation, but also having a lot of empathy for the child who is at the receiving end of this neglect, and just it feeling very upsetting to read about. And yeah, there were parts where I just found it like just too full of despair, I think. And yeah, that's not really a criticism as such, because like you can write about awful things in your books, that's fine, but I just found it myself quite hard to read. So yeah, unfortunately that one was, I wouldn't say fail, but it wasn't an all-time favourite. And yeah, with that I think I'll end the vlog. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully my next videos are we're gonna transition into spring. Out with the winter now. It's really sunny and beautiful outside this weekend, so yeah, going forward with some positive, bright, sunny, springy videos, hopefully. I do live in Scotland, so that might not work out as I planned, but yeah, I will see you again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Please give the video a like and subscribe if you liked it, because it really helps boost my engagement, which is not great at the moment, but it's fine. I make videos for fun, it's fine. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and leave a comment below letting me know if you have read either of these books. See you again soon. Bye.